Adelaide is an ever-changing environment, and technology is at the forefront of this change. New innovation has transformed education from a strict, streamlined practice to a flexible, more personalised learning environment. Two experts and three principals showcase these developments and paint a picture of what can be expected in the future of the Innovation City.
Again, we need to be teaching kids how to think differently and to use what you're learning at school to think differently, not just be able to rephrase what your textbooks have said.
Technology's integration into the classroom began with the laptop. Originally used for word processing, it is now in some cases the main tool used for a student's learning. Uses for the laptop can be found in every subject, and once schools found the need for each student having their own device, BYOD was born. Each school has a different method of bring your own device, and Pulteney's can be considered the most free.
My thinking behind that is BYOD needs to be genuine BYOD because parents and kids have their own experiences and their own trends, and some people like Windows and some people like Apple, and that, so we've got to support those choices. It's about building an understanding of making an informed choice at the end of the day, what technology is available, and allowing students and parents to make those decisions. We shouldn't have to make those decisions.
How does the BYOD program affect the learning of students at Pulteney?
Well, I think it just allows students to be able to access information and to present their findings, whether depending on what the task is, really, really easily on your laptop. And you can present your work through your laptop and from different mediums. It could be a Word document, or it might be a PowerPoint, or it might be a movie. It could be anything, really. It's up to the imagination. So what that means is the way that people teach is completely different now. So it's a lot less teacher directed. It's more about setting a task and students then working out how to complete that task.
So we look at our junior primary more as being consumers of knowledge, and our upper primary being more producers of knowledge. And we have, the upper primary use iPads as well. We also, we use 3D printing. We have a computer room. However, we'll get rid of that fairly soon because we've not got another new batch of iPads and laptops to come into the school.
The backbone of any school's device system is the infrastructure that supports it. Each system has different infrastructure. However, the main component of this is a fast and reliable internet connection.
Having access to the internet in 2018 is the most critical thing for schools, and if they don't have it, and a number of ours don't have it, it's really going to affect what school principals and teachers, or how they can teach the kids and what subjects they can offer and that sort of thing.
Would you do here for technology at Gillies Street?
The network would be most important.
With schools relying more and more on the internet, it is now vital that they receive high speeds and don't have to worry about reliability issues. Fibre optics is the current top of the line in internet technology. As a replacement to copper wire, fibre allows for speeds 5 times greater than its copper counterpart. Fibre also gives schools the best chance of staying connected as it is extremely reliable, which is key for schools to function. Another benefit of fibre is its longevity. Current estimations predict a lifespan of 40 to 100 years before replacement is required. Fibre technology also allows for new and more advanced learning styles to become a reality, such as students being in a VR environment to gain a deeper understanding of the topic. However, only 20% of schools in South Australia have access to fibre optic internet. Pulteney is one of the lucky few. Pulteney's new middle school facility has embraced the use of technology in the classroom. Taking inspiration from the Samsung Hub at UniSA, the new middle school building incorporates technology through the use of flexible learning spaces.
It's a fairly high-tech sort of building anyway. Just in terms of some of its features, electronic blinds and louvered windows and having the big TV screens is probably the bit that actually affects learning. So the theme for the building was not technology as such, but flexibility. It's just creating a more pleasant environment, a flexible environment, which means that you can then use the technology maybe in a slightly different way.
With a flexible learning space comes a more flexible learning style. Through the use of technology, work can be handed up in different forms, each requiring different abilities, which diversifies how work is done.
I think we've created in this school an environment where teachers feel like they can play with the technology. And so teachers are constantly looking at different ways they might be able to use the technology to enhance learning. So whether it is some bit of software program like Education Perfect or those sorts of things, but also just what the students can do. So there is a lot more filmmaking going on. So the use of film, which was unheard of in my day, but people do that all the time. It's not just creating projects with cardboard and paper and glue and cutting out. People will do it in lots of different ways.
Not only is learning becoming more flexible, it is becoming more catered towards individual students and their specific needs, such as learning a new language, which in the long run makes it more engaging and beneficial towards the student.
How are you going to present this? Give you the agency to say, look, this is what you need to get across to me. How are you going to do it? When I've taught a class, I've actually sat with them and said, okay, tell me what an A will look like if you do this. And they're able to tell me, this is what I need to cover. They're the key bits that teachers need to know, understanding. That's the personalisation. Some of that's going to be technology based, some of it isn't. And that's okay, because I'm a strong believer that you use technology effectively, not because you have to.
So how does this technology aid international students?
There are many programs now that are able to help with translation, are able to help children with their reading, and also for the international students allow them to delve in and do some research about, I suppose, common things that Australian kids do in Australia, because a lot of our international children are and their families are very keen for those children to integrate into Australian society as quickly as they can. So yeah, the technology will, it's a very good tool for those students as well.
Technology is changing education, and change is a good thing, but this change is happening at such a speed that it is impossible to keep up, which is best put by Mr. Thompson.
So really it was about understanding the need. What was the need for Pulteney?
And the need is different for all schools, and sometimes it's not about looking forward, it's about seeing the present and what is needed to get to the future.